What is up, guys? For this video we're going to be installing the Harland Sharp roller rocker arms that I showed you guys in the last video on the turbocharged 3.9 liter Dakota. I've had these rocker arms soaking in just conventional oil with a break-in oil additive in it for a little bit over a day and a half at this point. It's one of Harland Sharp's recommended instructions is to soak them in break-in oil for a period of time and then run break-in oil in your vehicle for 500 to 1,000 miles with these rocker arms on, with of course with the zinc additive in it, so that as things kind of settle in, you don't end up tearing bearings and stuff up. It gives all the bearings and stuff something to crush other than themselves, basically. So I've got the rocker arms sitting here in this pan soaking in this oil, so I'm going to do a full oil change using this oil right here. That's why I've kept everything covered so no dirt ends up in there. So I'm going to install the rocker arms and pour this oil back into that container and then put it in the truck and run this stuff for about 1,000 miles. It's just cheap Walmart conventional oil. I wanted to get something that would have barely any detergents in it, or at least the minimum amount of detergents. That break-in stuff I used is supposed to be good with pretty much any oil, but I figured just a cheap conventional oil will be perfect because it's not going to be in there for very long. These rocker arms are a 1.7 to 1 ratio. These Harland Sharps, the factory ones, are a 1.6 to 1 ratio, so I will get more lift out of these rocker arms. Can have a similar effect to like a really mild street cam or something, but these will be more effective than just a standard equal ratio roller rocker conversion. These rocker arms are direct bolt-on, non-adjustable. They are intended to be a direct swap for the factory rocker arms on these trucks. They fit underneath the stock valve covers. They work with the stock valves, stock valve springs. They work with the stock push rods. They work with the stock everything. I just remove the old ones from it, put the new ones in, torque them down, put the valve covers back on, put break-in oil in it, drive it for 1,000 miles with the break-in oil, and that's it. There's nothing else special about installing these things. There's nothing crazy I have to do. I don't have to set lash or anything. They're a direct bolt-on. The factory rocker arms are non-adjustable on these, and these Harland Sharps are also non-adjustable. I'm going to do this side first off camera, and then I'll show you guys doing this side over here because this side's easier to do, so I'll get the crappy side out of the way and kind of figure out how things go. I'm going to be, as I go, turning the engine over so that the pair of rocker arms are doing, because these are joined in pairs, I'm going to be doing the pairs while they're completely closed. That way I get an accurate torque reading on my torque wrench when I torque them down. I'm going to do this side first, and then I will get the camera set up and we will go through installing a set of Harland Sharp roller rockers. Alright, I got this side all done. I just need to put everything back together. So I'm going to get this side, reassembled, get everything plugged back in over here, and then I will show you guys how to do it on the other side. So I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, so I got the other side all put back together, and I've gone ahead and just kind of unclipped all the wires and stuff that are in the way. I took my spark plug wires off of this side, I unplugged all of the wires for the injectors and just kind of pulled them up out of the way so that they aren't in the way of getting the valve cover out of here. It's worth mentioning my truck has none of the factory cable holders or anything anymore. I don't have the factory bolts on my valve covers. Stock trucks will have studs, a combination of studs and bolts going all the way around. It'll have holders holding your spark plug wires and other things into place, which will add time, and those things are also very easy to break. The holders are, because they're plastic, and the studs you'll definitely need a deep well to get them out. I believe they're 7/16 or ½ inch. I can't remember exactly, but you'll need a deep well socket to get those bolts and studs off. And on a factory truck you have your intake running onto this side as well if it's an older, I guess even if it's a newer Magnum too. So you'll have all that stuff. Mine is pretty easy on this side because my intake goes on the other side, and I removed a whole bunch of stuff and rewired everything, so I don't have a whole bunch of stuff here in my way. But just wanted to give you guys a heads up if you're doing this on a truck that is, stock configuration for the most part, with all the wires and stuff in the stock locations. The valve cover should come off. It's caught around the rocker arm actually. There we go. So I'm going to go and turn the engine over until I know for sure that these two valves are all the way shut, and I'll go ahead and crack them loose and pull them off. You do definitely want to wear gloves doing this, especially for when you're putting the Harland Sharps in, because you're going to have to stick your hands all the way into that oil, and it's not going to be a fun time if your hands are just getting completely coated in oil the whole time. So Gloves are definitely a must for this job. Exhaust valve goes first, and then the intake valve comes next, and then once that intake valve comes back up and isn't moving anymore, you are good. And then you can also, you should be able to remove the rocker arms from the second cylinder, at least on this engine, at the same time without having to rotate the engine anymore. We're good right now to pull both of these sets off. We'll just have to rotate the engine some more to get that second set out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are a 1/2 inch socket. Yep. And they should crack loose fairly easily. There we go. Yeah, that wasn't much effort. A little pop and they come right out. There we go. And while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead. I didn't do this the first time, but since both of these are sitting at, you know, the fully closed position, I'm going to go ahead and crack loose both of these sets and get them both out of here. Ooh, that one was a little bit more difficult. Once you've got these backed all the way out, they'll just pull right off. I try to keep everything together, and there's going to be a little bit of oil pulled up in them that you might not want to spill everywhere. For the Harland Sharps, you pull them out of the oil and then put the bolts in through the top, and then put the seats in before you even attempt to put it in the engine, of course. And then you'll have to kind of hold the seats up with your fingers from underneath and then kind of hold everything straight so you can just kind of plop them right in here. Alright, so as you can see, I got my thumb kind of aligning the bolts a little bit, and then my fingers holding the seats in place, and the skinny part of the seat, of course, goes into the rocker arm, and then the fat part sits on the head. Alright, here we go, second set. Kind of get the bolts in a little bit. Attempt to get these to go in. It's also worth mentioning that if your valves aren't fully closed, it can be a bit difficult to get the bolts to really want to even line up, because the rocker arm could potentially be tilted enough that the bolt doesn't even fit and you can't get your hand on it or get a tool on it. So that's why I'm going ahead and getting them all into the closed position before messing with them too much. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe my gloves off and then grab a wrench and see if I can get those things kind of hand tight. Alright, so now I'm just going to see if I can get these to go in. That one's going in. You want to alternate back and forth a little bit as you're doing this, just so that if things are trying to bind up, you don't end up ramming one of them all the way in. You should be able to get them completely bottomed out. See, like that one right there, it was kind of wedged. You should be able to get these to completely bottom out by hand, and then just the final actual torquing down will have to be done with an actual wrench. But see, I got those bolts are all the way seated down. Same with these, and it helps to get a few rows of thread in, and then kind of check the rocker or the push rods and shift them around, make sure things are sitting where they're supposed to. It's a lot easier to tell with the Harland Sharps if they are all sitting the same way because of how flat these are. So you can kind of stand off to the side and look at them, and they all look pretty much exactly the same. Whereas with the stock ones, it's really difficult to tell by eye if they're all the way closed. Now we're ready to torque them, and Harland Sharp's website says 21 foot-pounds, so that is what we are going to. So I'm going to give this one small turn, or enough turns until it feels like it's getting a little bit tight, and then I'll go over here, do this one until it feels like it's getting a little bit tight, and then I'll go back to this one and actually go until it clicks. There we go. Go back over here, and this is just to keep them from wanting to bind up on that shaft, because they are joined with a center shaft right there. I don't know if I mentioned it yet or not, but you do not want to pull these apart once you've soaked them in oil, because it's going to be very difficult to put them back together, because the oil forms like a, I don't even know what you'd call it, but the oil basically prevents the shaft from being able to go back in, because it can't displace the oil back out. So do not do that. I got that tip from another video on installing these, and I probably would have made that mistake had they not mentioned it. So I don't remember who the video was, but I appreciate that tip. So I'll give that a little bit of a tighten down, and we'll go up to the next one here. There we go. So these are all done. I am going to just shut the camera off for these last two. And I'll give you guys a little peek at it before I go ahead and put the valve cover on this last one. And I'll let you guys kind of watch me spin the engine over and make sure that nothing is getting bound up or seizing or, you know, whatever, coming into contact with things that they're not supposed to be touching. So I'll be back with that last set on. Okay, I got that last set on and torqued down, so we were all done installing the rocker arms. Now I'm just going to spin the engine over and listen and feel for any unsettling noises. I have a ratchet wrench on here now, so this will be a little bit easier. Alright, well, that felt alright, so I think we are all set to go. I'm going to get the valve cover on and just plug everything back in. I'm going to change the oil and we'll be ready to go ahead and start it. Alright, I got the entire side over here put back together, changed the oil, managed to leak oil and spill oil all over everything, but oh well, it's just how it goes. It was going to be smoky no matter what because I got oil on it while I was putting the rock arms in on the exhaust. But yeah, it's all put back together and fresh oil, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to fire up my laptop and be ready to make tune adjustments just in case, because I'm assuming it's probably going to run a little bit lean because it should be pulling in a little bit more air. So I'll get the laptop on and then we'll try to start the truck. Alright, Tutor Studio is loading up. It always takes forever. There it goes. And the computer is on, or the truck computer is on, so we should connect as soon as we get in. Yes, we are on. So now if it starts doing anything weird, I'll be able to keep an eye on it. Alright, well, here we go. We're going to fire it up and see what happens. Oh, it's idling a little bit different. I'll let it warm up before I change anything. That's definitely rich. I'm going to tweak a couple things and see if I can clear it up. Alright, I got it running pretty decently. It definitely needs to be retuned after putting the roller rockers and stuff in, so I think I'm just going to set the camera up. We're going to go for a little cruise in it. There's a lot of smoke blowing out of it because of all the oil I spilled on it, but that'll go away after a little bit. So I'm going to find a way to get the camera set up and then we'll just go drive around for a little bit. Alright, here we go. I got the computer auto-tuning. We got smoke blowing everywhere, of course. That'll go away after a minute. And we're not going to get super crazy with it because, like I said, these rocker arms, you're supposed to break them in. So we'll just go for a nice little cruise. The camera's probably really shaky, but I can't really do much about that. It's idling high, probably because of the reduced friction from those rockers. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't hear any loud chattering or ticking from in here. I'm gonna go back to the house and look into that. Let me take this thing down here. Oh wow, I'm like totally darkened out, but oh well. It's running great with the rocker arms. I don't notice any like cam choppiness or anything at the idle. I'll probably won't notice different. I didn't expect it to, but it would have been kind of funny if it did. But yeah, it's running great. The rock arms are installed. I won't be able to see what kind of power improvements I got until they've been broken in. So for now, they are in. I'm going to cruise around on them, get some miles on them, and we'll definitely find out what kind of difference they make when this thing gets retuned, and hopefully the next month, month and a half. So we'll see. That's going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.